Well, hello there. I'm very bored, if you could not tell already. So I decided to dress up as a unicorn to be less bored. So today, because I asked my friends what I should do for this video, and I thought my friends would be nice to me, give me something simple and easy. But no, my friends decided, because they are tossers, love them really, that I have to do a TBR tour. So, to ignore them, I put it on my Twitter and Instagram and asked what I should do for my next video. And you all voted for a TBR tour. So I'm doing a TBR tour today. Now, for those of you that don't know, I have over 410 books on my TBR. The reason being, I have a problem. My life is a shambles. I don't know how many physical books I own. I know quite a lot of them are on Kindle, but quite a lot are still physical. I think it's only about 80 books that are on my Kindle. So I'm going to take you through all of them today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my standalone shelf. Those are books that I either know are standalones, are not standalones, but I do not know that they are not standalones, so I've just put them on the standalone shelf. Or they are the first in a book series that I want to read, and I just haven't got the rest of the series yet, so I'm just going to read it as a standalone book. On to the TBR tour! So to begin, on my top shelf, I have The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. I have Jodi Picoult's My Sister's Keeper. I have Lorenzo Carcaterra's Sleepers. And I have The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon by Stephen King. The reason these 4 books are on the top of my bookcase rather than in the shelves are because these are all part of the Choose a Book These are all part of Choose a Book based on its first line. Now, there were 5 books. There are these 4, and then The Store by James Patterson, and that was chosen by Brooke from Brooke's Books. So I put them on the top because they are priority reads for me, really, and they are part of a challenge. Now, going down. Next, I have J.K. Rowling, The Casual Vacancy. Time of Death by Mark Billingham. The Guest List by Lucy Foley. Karen Rose, You Belong to Me. Tess Gerritsen's Keeper of the Bride. Simon Koenig's Severed. Henry Chancellor's The Remarkable Adventures of Tom Scatterhorn, The Hidden World. I have no idea what that book is. I've had it for years. I do want to read it. I Am Watching You by Teresa Driscoll, which was a recent gift, which I'm really glad about. I think that's lovely. Crooked House, Endless Night, and The Pale Horse by Agatha Christie. The Cave by Bill Rogers. Now, I know Bill. He is actually a very close friend of mine, and I would definitely recommend his books. Please check him out. He is a very good author. Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. No Further Questions by Gillian McAllister. I assume that's Gillian, unless that is also pronounced Gillian. Traces of Her by Amanda Brittany. Lisa Jules' Then She Was Gone. Sisterland by Curtis Sittenfeld. The Death and Life of Charlie St. Cloud by Ben Sherwood. The Time Traveller's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. Steve Kavanagh's 13. Wicked by Gregory Maguire. A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. Peter James's Perfect People. The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. And A Court of Thorn and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. All of those books on my top shelves are... I think I've accidentally defined them because I've put them in size order. But for those books, they're books that I actually really do want to read. I really want to get to them, but I'm just not desperate to. It's like the books I want to try when I get round to it, rather than I have to read them now. And you will see a pattern. My top shelf is not actually top tier. My top shelf is... They're on the top, and you're very close to them. You're on like face level of them when you sat down filming the videos. Please pick one. And then you will see my middle shelf. Now, my middle shelf are the books I am dying to read. They are in colour order. They have been colour coordinated for my personal satisfaction. And quite frankly, they make me want to read them. Every book on that middle shelf, I'm desperate to read. So... I don't know why I haven't read all of them. They are literally on there for me to read. I just need to basically book up and get to it. So next, we have A Noise Downstairs by Linwood Barclay. I have read that book, but I want to read it again. It was a very, very good book. The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I don't know how to pronounce that. Michaelides? I'm not going to get caught up on that. Basically, my stepmother has lent me that book because I've never read it, but she has, and she was not a fan. But everyone else that I've spoken to has absolutely loved it. So we'll see. Then there's The Nanny by Gilly. Is it Gilly? Gilly? These Jill Gill names are really doing my head in. Right. The Nanny by Gilly Macmillan. Now, my dad has read that. I bought the book, then my dad stole it. I have not read the book yet. Desperate to. Don't know anything about it. The Stranger Inside by Lisa Unger. Life of Pi by Jan Martel. Not sure if I want to read that, but it's on the 100 books to read before you die list, so I kind of have to now. Shadow Forest by Matt Haig. I have a feeling this is the same Matt Haig that does all of the mental health related books. I read this book years ago and I absolutely loved it. It was when I was in school and yeah, it was just an amazing book. You can tell how old this book is. Oh my god, it's signed! Oh yeah, it is. It's by the same guy. But I'm actually really looking forward to reading it again. Then I have Ruth Ware's The Turn of the Key. Now this is quite a recent book. I bought this book because of a recommendation from What Victoria Read. Don't really know anything about it. I know it's a retelling of The Taming of the Shrew, I think. But I've never actually read that, so I have no idea what is going on in this book. Then I have The Bodies Left Behind by Jeffrey Deaver. Now you'll notice with pretty much every Deaver book I own, I have never read them. These are all books that were given to me by my dad. He said he loves Jeffrey Deaver. He thought they were great, so he's given me the books so I can read them. And I just never did. So I've kept them because I do really want to read them, and I just want to read one Jeffrey Deaver book, see if I like it, and if I don't, I can get rid of them all. But I can't really throw him away without giving him a fair shot. Then I have Never Saw It Coming by Linwood Barclay. Never Look Away by Linwood Barclay. The Accident by Linwood Barclay. Trust Your Eyes by Linwood Barclay. As you can tell, I like Linwood Barclay. Then I have A Breath After Drowning by Alice Blanchard. One More Lie by Amy Lloyd. Manda Sue Heller's Two-Faced. The Light Between Oceans, M.L. Stedman. Alice Sebold, The Lovely Bones. I really want to read The Lovely Bones. I just don't know why I've never gotten around to it, but I really do want to read it. Karen Slaughter's Pieces of Her. Don't You Cry, Cass Green. The Holiday, T.M. Logan. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Now this was actually gifted to me by Victoria from What Victoria Read, and I'm so looking forward to reading it. It's a contemporary, which isn't my kind of thing, but the whole plot of the book just sounds fascinating, and I really can't wait to read it. Then I have The Girlfriend by Michelle Francis. The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. Fear the Worst by Linwood Barclay. Too Close to Home by Linwood Barclay. And then The Escape Room by Megan Golden. Now The Escape Room, I think I'm doing this as a buddy read with Chloe Reads Books. I'm not entirely sure if we decided on a date. We just said if we was going to do one, that'd be the book we do. Then I have The Perfect Child by Lucinda Berry. And that was gifted to me by Brooke from Brooke's Books. So lovely. The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Chloe Reads Books sent that over to me, and I'm so excited to read it. It is the only book I own with sprayed edges. Fun fact for you. Then I have The Chain by Adrian McKinsey, which was gifted to me as well. Such a lovely group of people gifting me books. I really appreciate it. Then The Chemist by Stephanie Meyer, and I bought that myself because I was on a bit of a Stephanie Meyer kick after reading The Host, and then Midnight Sun was announced, and I just thought, right, I have to read more. So I bought The Chemist because I didn't even know that book existed. Now my bottom shelf is where I keep those books I don't want to read. Like, I want to read them, I really do want to read them, otherwise I'd have unhauled them a while ago. But like, I don't think I'm ever going to get to them. Like, a lot of the books on my bottom shelf are books that have been there for... Oh, £2. Oh no, £2. A lot of the books on my bottom shelf are ones that have been there since 2013, something like that. So I've had them for so long, and I've just never read them. Let me just check if there are any I desperately want to read. Bottom shelf. This is the... I feel so bad on this shelf. I feel as though I need to prioritise this shelf a lot more. I have What Alice Forgot by Leanne Moriarty. The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky, Keeping Faith by Jodi Picoult, Tess Gerritsen's Presumed Guilty, Karen Slaughter's Criminal, Sally Nichols' Way to Live Forever. Now, I absolutely love Ways to Live Forever. I think it's an amazing book, and I really think if you can, you should check it out. It's a YA or a middle grade, kind of something like that, but it deals with a boy who is dying of cancer and decides that the best way for him to live on forever in his parents' memory and in the lives of those people that he's touched, he wants to complete everything on his bucket list. Then there's Parting Shot by Linwood Barclay, Karen Slaughter's Fractured, Mark Haddon's The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Night Time, The London Eye Mystery by Siobhan Dowd, F.E. Higgins' The Black Book of Secrets, The Kid by Kevin Lewis, Tess Gerritsen's The Surgeon. Now, I know Tess Gerritsen's The Surgeon is... Oh, bugger, sorry. Now, I know Tess Gerritsen's The Surgeon is the first book in the Rizzoli and Isle series. Don't own any of the others. Do want to read the series, so I decided to put it there rather than just keep one book on my series shelves by itself. Then Jeffrey Deaver's A Maiden's Grave, Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca, Jeffrey Deaver's Praying for Sleep, Chris Carter's The Caller, Faye Kellerman's The Burnt House, Karen Rowe's Kill for Me, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, Agatha Christie's Why Didn't They Ask Evans, then Stephen King, The Dreamcatcher, The Green Mile, Rose Madder, and Misery. Now, the reason they are on the bottom shelf, because I do desperately want to read Stephen King books, the reason they are on the bottom shelf is really I didn't really have anywhere else to put them. A lot of my Stephen King books are actually on my series shelf because I don't have anywhere else to put them right now. So I do desperately want to read them. They shouldn't be on bottom shelf tier, really. Okay, on my bottom shelf, I actually want to read Parting Shot by Linwood Barclay, and that is the only one I'm desperate to read. And the rest of them, I want to get to them, but I don't know, there's just something that I've never actually got to. There are also some books that I absolutely love on there, but I have read them, and I'm just keeping them because I like them, really. But they're on my TBR shelf because I do want to read them again eventually. But I haven't got to it. Now, I have to take you over there to my series shelf. So, the first series of books I have are the Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. Then I have the first 3 books in the Camoran Strike series by Robert Galbraith, who is also known as J.K. Rowling. Then I have the entire Darren Shan saga, which I have read, and you can check out my 24-hour readathon for that. Then going up, I have the entire series of Unfortunate Events, which I do really want to read. Then the 2 books in the Good Girls Guide to Murder series, Titanic 2020, basically the redeploy a Titanic during 2020. And these are 2 books in the series that follow a stowaway on there, which is really, really good. Then I have the first 2 books in the Curse of Dark and Lonely series, which I know has a name, but I don't actually remember it. It's a Cursebreaker series, which were gifted to me by Steph, which I am so, so grateful for, and I cannot wait to read them. Then I have quite a few books by Agatha Christie. Hercule Poirot's Christmas, The Secret Adversary, The Moving Finger, Dumb Witness, Evil Under the Sun, Cat Amongst the Pigeons, and The Murder at the Vicarage. Now, I don't know what series they're all a part of. Some of them are a part of Miss Marple, some of them are part of Poirot. So until I start reading them, I haven't actually organised them in any specific way yet. And then I have the entire Harry Potter series, obviously. I have read them, do want to reread, need to force myself to reread. Then I have the 3 Hunger Games books, which I think are stunning and I love them. And then with the new book coming out very soon, I do want to reread these sometime. Then I have the Dave Pelzer series. I don't know if it has a name, I just call it the Dave Pelzer series. And that's A Child Called It, The Lost Boy, and A Man Named Dave. And it's a trilogy about the author's life. Moving down, I have the entire Frida Klein series, starting with Monday, going all the way through to Day of the Dead. And this stars a police officer known as Frida Klein, and each of her books have the name of a day. So there's Blue Monday, Tuesday's Gone, Waiting for Wednesday, Thursday's Child, Friday On My Mind, Saturday's Requiem, Sunday Morning Coming Down, and then Day of the Dead. Then I have The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings books. Don't really need to talk much about them. Not read them, don't know much about them. High fantasy, we'll get to them eventually. Then I have the complete collection of the Percy Jackson series, which I love and need a reread of. Then there's these books. Enough said. Don't really know why I own them, but I have to read them because they're on the 100 books to read before you die. Yeah. Then a great series, which is very, very not known. That made sense, Connor, well done. Is the Numbers series by Rachel Ward. These are backwards. Why did I do that? I need to change that. But there's Numbers 2 and Numbers 3, and both of them are fantastic, and it follows a young girl who looks into people's eyes and can see the date that they are going to die. And it's very interesting. It's a great story. And then my favourite book series of all time, the Nemesis book series by Catherine MacPhail. Please check them out. I've mentioned them so often recently. I think you really need to just check them out. Just do it. Just check them out. Then I have the Shining series, which is book 1 and 2 by Stephen King. Then moving down, I have 2 of the Bill Hodges trilogy. I have Mr. Mercedes and Finders Keepers. There is one more, but I don't actually own that, and I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. Then I have I have book 1 and 3 of the Dark Tower series by Stephen King. Don't know why I don't have the rest, just never bought them. Then I have The Talisman and Black House by Stephen King. These are a series, but I don't know what the series is. But these are the 2 books in the series. There are no more. It's just currently these 2. Then, continuing on, I have the Mortal Instruments series and the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. Currently making my way through these. I've currently only read book 1, but I will be continuing on with City of Ashes in the coming weeks and hopefully getting through these. I am going to be doing it as first 3, then the Infernal Devices, and then final 3 because I was told that is the best way to do it. Behind these books are my red books that I haven't unhauled and I don't plan on unhauling anytime soon. Then I have it's not complete because he's still writing them, but the full up to now series of the Song of Ice and Fire series by George R.R. Martin. It's a book series I'm not too eager to start, but I do want to do it eventually, so I own the books. And I got the books for a steal, really. I think I got them all for £15, so I really can't complain. Then, moving on, Linwood Barclay, great author. I have the Broken Promise trilogy, and that starts with Broken Promise, then moves on to Far From True, and then ends with the 23. Don't know anything about them because I want to go in blind. Then you can only see the first one, but the second one is there. There is No Time for Goodbye by Linwood Barclay, and then the follow-on, which is No Safe House. And that follows a character called Cynthia Archer, and it's a really good story about a girl who wakes up one morning and finds out that her parents and brother have disappeared, and she never hears from them again. And it's quite interesting. And then finally, my bottom shelf. These are my Stephen King books. I have Carrie, and that book also contains The Tommyknockers, Stephen King's Lizzie's Story, Pet Sematary. This is the gap where The Outsider went, but I finished that now, so there's a gap. Can Hearts in Atlantis fit here? It does. So then I have Hearts in Atlantis, Stephen King and Owen King, which is his son, Sleeping Beauties, It, which I'm terrified of reading, but I do want to get to, just after sunset, 11/22/63, The Stand, which is a bloody beast, the Cell, Bag of Bones, and then I move on to my Jeffrey Deaver collection, which I've already said I don't want to get rid of without giving it a fair shot. But these are the Lincoln Rhymes series. So there's The Bone Collector, I don't even know what that one's called. Is it The Coffin Dancer, The Empty Chair, The 12th Card, and The Broken Window. Then is a book series I started reading when I was in school again, and that is the series by Alan Gibbons. And the first book is Scared to Death, and then the second book is The Demon Assassin. There are 4, and it's called the Hell's Underground series. So I don't know why I haven't got the rest. They're very hard to find. They're not very popular. Then I have more Agatha Christie books, which are Poirot books, I think. There is Towards Zero, which I don't think is a Poirot book actually, but I don't remember the series it actually is. Then They Do It With Mirrors, and then 3 books in one of Poirot books, which features a character called Ariadne Oliver. So it's all of them books that she is featured in. So that one book contains Cards on the Table, Mrs. McGinty's Dead, and Dead Man's Folly. In addition to those, I also have Tony Maguire's Don't Tell Mummy, but it was not currently on my shelf because I'm about to start that this week sometime. Now, I have no idea how I'm going to do this, but I have a full cupboard full of James Patterson books, so I'm going to have to show you that as well because they are also on my TBR. So, to begin, there is the Jackie Haha series, book 1 and 2, and they are the only 2 in the series so far. Then there is the Maximum Ride series, which starts with When the Wind Blows and The Lake House, which are not actually Maximum Ride books, but they do set the premise for the Maximum Ride series. So I class them as part of the series because I feel as though I need to read them before I start the Maximum Ride series. Then there's Maximum Ride The Angel Experiment, which is the first book I have ever read in my entire life, and it was the first book that made me fall in love with James Patterson, and I've not read since then. I haven't read that book since then, so I really need to read that soon. Then I have Schools Out Forever, Saving the World and Other Extreme Sports, The Final Warning, Max, Fang, Angel, Nevermore, and Maximum Ride Forever. And then Hawk is coming out soon, which is the sequel to this series, so I need to get all of those read in order to read Hawk. Moving down, I have the entire Private series by James Patterson, which starts with Private, then goes on to Private Number One Suspect, Private Games, Private London, Private Berlin, Private LA, Private Down Under, Private India, Private Vegas, Private Paris, The Games, which is also known as Private Rio, Private Sydney, Private Royals, Private Delhi, Private Gold, and Private Princess. There is also another one coming out very soon called Private Moscow. And yeah, that is that entire series. Not read a single one, but my dad has read the majority, so I need to crack on and start them. Then I have another series, which I don't really know what this series is called, but these books have all been made into TV shows. And it's Murder Interrupted, Home Sweet Murder, and Murder Beyond the Grave. Going up, we have the entire Daniel X series, which starts with The Dangerous Days of Daniel X, then Daniel X Watch the Skies, Demons and Druids, Game Over, Armageddon, and Lights Out. And I know I don't have the complete series, but I also have the middle school books by James Patterson. Middle School Dog's Best Friend has actually recently just been gifted to me by Handy's Nose in a Book, which I think is lovely, so thank you so much for that. Then there's Zoo and Zoo 2, which I plan on reading very, very soon. Hunted and Revenge, which are part of a series called the David Shelley series. Crazy House and The Fall of Crazy House. The Fall of Crazy House was gifted to me by Brooke from Brooks Books. Up here we have a collection of short story from James Patterson collections, and they're all 3 books in one. So it's The Moors Are Missing, Murder in Paradise, Killer Be Killed, The Family Lawyer, 13-Minute Murder, and The House Next Door. Now this is where it gets tricky. In here we have Murder Games, which is also known as Instinct, and then the sequel, Killer Instinct, Invisible and Unsolved, which are excellent books. I've read them, I love them. So that's 2 books I can cross off because I've actually read. And then right down there, you can see the white book. It's very blurry, very sorry. There is Honeymoon and Second Honeymoon, which, there we go, you can see them there. Honeymoon and Second Honeymoon, which, again, I have not read. Moving down, there's The Black Book, Torn Apart, Toys, First Love, All American Murder, The Chef, Sam's Letters to Jennifer, The President is Missing, The First Lady, not connected in any way, Lost, Out of Sight, which I have read, Murder House, which I have read, You've Been Warned, The Quickie, The Murder of King Tut, Woman of God, Postcard Killers, Swimsuit, Now You See Her, Two from the Heart, The Inn, Beach Road, The Beach House, The Christmas Wedding, Mistress, which I have read, Guilty Wives, Truth or Die, which I have read, and Kill Me If You Can. And back up, we have Give Thank You a Try, which was gifted to me, and I love the book. It is adorable. It is a children's book and teaching them how to be polite and say thank you and talk about what the things you are grateful for. Then there's Juror number 3, Expelled, which was gifted to me from a book fiend named Mel, and I love her for that. Sunday at Tiffany's, The Warning, Miracle at Augusta, which is a series, but I don't actually have the rest at the moment. I think that's the second book in the series, and there are 3 up to now. Confessions, The Private School Murders. Confessions is also a series, but Private School Murders is the second one. I don't have them. Texas Ranger is a series, but the second one is called Texas Outlaw, which I don't own yet. Sale is a standalone. Humans Bow Down. Treasure Hunters, which is a middle grade book series, but I only have that one. Then House of Robots, which is a middle grade book series, and I only have that one. Then, See How They Run. The Thomas Berryman number, which is James Patterson's first ever book, and I read that and I despised it. It was awful. Judge and Jury, Witch and Wizard, which is actually Witch and Wizard is a part of a series. I have not read the series. I just own the one book. I do really want to read the series, but they're very expensive. Then Suzanne's Diary for Nicholas, Hide and Seek, and Black Market. Then I have Season of the Machete, The Jester, Lifeguard, The Midnight Club, Don't Blink, Cradle and All, which you will know I have read Cradle and All because I read that as a buddy read with... I read that as a buddy read with a book fiend named Mel. Then I have Bookshots, which are small books, which is The Hostage, The Verdict and Kidnapped, which is part of the John Roscoe series. Then French Kiss, The Christmas Mystery, and French Twist, which is part of the Luke Moncrief series. Then, talking to you quickly about my Bookshots, I also have Bloody Valentine, $10 Million Marriage Proposal, 113 Minutes, Airport Code Red. I have read 113 Minutes and Airport Code Red, you will know that. Breakpoint, Come and Get Us, Dead Heat, Deadly Cargo, Killer Chef, Learning to Ride, Let's Play Make Believe, Malicious, Sacking the Quarterback, Taking the Titanic, The Dolls, The Exile, The House Husband, and The Mating Season. Now, I actually have to move all of these books because this is just the front layer. Behind these is another layer of books. So you will see here I have James Patterson books, which are numbered 1 to 6 there, and that is The Women's Murder Club. That series actually goes all the way through to 19. I do currently own them all, but I have loaned some out to my dad, so they're not all currently here. But there is actually 20 in the book series, or 22 in the book series, because the numbers go up to 20, but there are also 2 bookshop books in addition to that. And I have up to 19 and the 2 bookshop books, so I currently have 21 of the 22 possible ones, which are all behind there, which I'm not going to keep moving because there's way too many. So you can see there's 19th Christmas, which is the latest, well, apart from number 20 in the Women's Murder Club series. Then there is Black and Blue, Never Never, Liar Liar and 50/50, which are all part of the Harriet Blue series. And there is one more called Hush Hush, which I have yet to get. Then we are up to date on NYPD Red, and there are the 5 books in the series, which I own. Not read any of these, by the way. You will see right down there is the start of the Alex Cross series, which is, oh, God knows now, Along Came a Spider, Kiss the Girls, Jack and Jill, Cat and Mouse, Pop Goes the Weasel, Roses Are Red, Violets Are Blue, Four Blind Mice, The Big Bad Wolf, London Bridges, Mary Mary, Cross, Double Cross, Cross Country, Alex Cross's Trial, I, Alex Cross, Crossfire, Kill Alex Cross, Merry Christmas Alex Cross Run, Cross My Heart, Hope to Die, Cross Justice, Cross the Line, Cross Kill, Detective Cross, The People vs. Alex Cross, Target Alex Cross, and Crisscross. And that is the entire Alex Cross series. I've read all of them, barring Crisscross. And that is it. That is every James Patterson book I currently own. And they're all taken out of order now, so you could all see it. Actually, while I'm at it, there is one more book that I own, and that is The Store by James Patterson, which I'm currently reading, which should have been on top with those books from the Choose the Book by its First Line series. I did mention this one very early on, and I'm currently reading this. Not very far in, I'm literally like a chapter or 2 in, but this is what I'm currently reading. And that is officially every physical book on my TBR. I also checked, I have 73 on my Kindle TBR. So do with that information what you will. if you've read any of these books, please let me know what you thought of them, because if I haven't read them, then I want to know what you think, really. I want to know whether they're worth my time. If you've not read any of these books and you're really interested, message me. I'll chat to you about it. I'll let you know what they're about, see if I can help you make a decision as to whether you want to read it or not. But yeah, I am shattered. That is a lot of work going through those books. So thank you to everybody that voted. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go to sleep now. So thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and click the bell so you're always notified as to when I post. Other than that, I post every Monday, Wednesday and Saturday, and then during this time intermittently throughout the week. So until next time, I will see you later.